Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing turnout today.
We've got an absolute legend turning up today. And I thought before I introduce him, which I've got some things to read here for you, I thought I'd ask, what is the purpose of us being here today? Because we're all in business, and before you start a meeting in your office or in business, it's always important to ask, what's the purpose of this meeting? And I think our purpose for today should be to give. We're all here to give of our time. You've already done that. Thank you. I'd also suggest, given the caliber of the people in this room today, because everyone here today has been invited to be here. So somebody else thought of you, thought of the event, and thought it'd be worthwhile bringing those two things together. Okay, so straight into it. So today we've got Anthony Ryan, we're going to spend some time with and occupy the same space. I'm looking forward to it. So let me tell you a bit more about him. So it's an honour and a privilege to introduce you all to a leader whose commitment to Brisbane's socio-economic growth has been nothing short of exemplary. It's because of his entrepreneurial spirit, strategic acumen, and unwavering dedication to our city that Anthony was handpicked from a pool of over 100 leaders to be the CEO of the Brisbane Economic Development Agency, known as BEDA. Also recognised as a Queensland Great in 2013, his leadership today aims at driving sustainable economic growth for Brisbane. Graduating with a double degree in 1994, Anthony originally intended to become a stockbroker under the guidance of the late Paul Morgan. Does that name ring a bell to anybody?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you who don't know, Paul was an Australian rugby league great and the co-founder of the Brisbane Broncos, which I thought was really interesting. So, however, following a trip to Washington, D.C., where he worked with homeless people, Anthony was inspired to change his path. From 2012 to 2016, Anthony served as the CEO of the Edmund Rice Foundation, where he led significant financial growth and established various initiatives. In particular, he started the Gone Fishing initiative, which saw 10 Australian corporate professionals travel to Kenya, immersing themselves in understanding the issues affecting people in Africa. During this time, Anthony founded the Mimiki Foundation in 2015, which is an organisation that has been instrumental in providing aid and support to marginalised youth in both Queensland and South Africa. Now, previously CEO of the Young Care from 2016 to 2021, Anthony pioneered the transformation of the not-for-profit organisation into an entrepreneurial company that provides meaningful solutions and choices for young people with high physical care needs. Now, as the leader of BEDA, Anthony combines his vast experience, insights, and passion to chart a course for Brisbane's future, focusing on economic growth, but more importantly, creating a legacy that future generations will look back upon with pride. In fact, quoting Brisbane's Lord Mayor, Adrian Schrinner, who's been a previous attendee and interview at the lunch, quoting Brisbane's Lord Mayor, Adrian Schrinner, in a press release announcing Anthony's appointment as the CEO of BEDA. As the world's newest city to host the Games, the attention of the world will soon turn to Brisbane. Anthony's role in recognising and delivering opportunities through his appointment as the CEO of BEDA will be vital over the years to come. In other words, the success of the Olympics hinges on one person. And we have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome please to stage Anthony Ryan. What does BEDA do? Can you tell us a bit more?
Just to add to that list to start with, because I've really become a champion of Brisbane in many ways. The more I've taken on this role, how excited I am to be having a part to play. I'm not sure if you saw on Monday, they're already starting to talk about 2024, and the Frommer's list came out. It's world ranked. It's recognised right across hospitality and tourism. Frommer's literally it changes the way cities are visited, or the focus on cities. And Brisbane got named for 2024 in the top 50 places in the world to visit and to do business with. And not only that, it was the only Australian city that made the top 50. And in fact, we're second next to Seville. So it's an extraordinary moment. Second on the list, I'm not sure if it's second ranked, but second on the list, and we'll take second. What BEDA does, I'll give you a couple of examples. Hospitality and tourism, yeah, that's definitely us. Working with OCOG, that's definitely us. OCOG's running the 4 weeks. Our role is to try and activate as much as possible and really work. And I'll talk a little bit about this later, because I truly believe, and one of the messages I want to leave with you over the next 20 odd minutes is that Brisbane's secret sauce moving forward, unlike Sydney and Melbourne, is going to be the way we collaborate together. In a way, it's a little bit of death, not death of ego, but relaxation of ego. Sydney and Melbourne tend to cannibalise themselves. What we need to be doing at Brisbane in this extraordinary time, not many cities get the gift of an Olympics. And if you start thinking about that, the cities that have been given, I know this has been told to you before, but we're about to go into Paris next year, about to go to LA and then Brisbane. We're 5 years away from actually being the next Olympic city. Everyone keeps talking about the 9 years. We're actually 5 years away and being the next Olympic city. So we need to start really working, accelerating and working together. And that's a really important thing. So Brisbane has 3 main areas. A role is anything to do with the brand of Brisbane. So we work on those global rankings. We work on getting the restaurants like Agnes across the line, Carlisle across the line. The team is extraordinary. I've got one of my staff here, Tamelza, put your hand up. I didn't let my other staff know that I was here today, so Tamelza somehow found out through secret means. But that's one of the things that we do. The more that we promote our city, so if you start listening to Warren Buffett will say, you can't sell a product unless people know about it. And so our job is to elevate the brand of Brisbane internationally, globally, and interstate, and really push that barrow as hard as we can. And we got to go beyond that whole idea of this is the river city. We got a beautiful climate, those sort of things. Everyone can sort of say those things. So we start looking for unique propositions. So some of the things that I want to say to you that you wouldn't know, I'm pretty sure the majority of you wouldn't know. In Brisbane, we are the number 1 in the world for research into quantum physics. Think all around the world, we're number 1. You think that would be San Francisco, it'd be Tokyo, it'd be somewhere in the UAE. Number 1, quantum physics, Australia. Number 1 in the world, robotics, without a doubt. No comparison. We just had the Lord Mayor's Business Awards last Friday. One of the winners that did it is doing stuff that globally is being looked at. In January this year and January next year, we took a delegation of medtech and biohealth legends who are coming up with globally first game-changing medical inventions and tech inventions. Companies like Vaxxus that are now, instead of saying where you're going to be injected for vaccinations, and they have to be set at certain temperatures, Vaxxus has come up with a patch that actually can do multiple vaccinations at any one time. And not only do that, it doesn't need temperature. It can be stored for 5 years, 10 years. It's game-changing. It will break open the world. Advanced manufacturing will be here in Brisbane. So when we took them to Brisbane, to San Francisco, to the JP Morgan Investor Round, which is the number 1 sort of conference for investment into the medical and tech and innovation. Brisbane walked away with gold, bronze and 4th out of about 5,200 presentations in that week in San Francisco. Brisbane is extraordinary. So the things that finally, before I get on to I know you've got another question.
No, you just answered all first 3 ones, but anyway, that's okay.
What we're bad at in Brisbane is looking down south. Brisbane, honestly, right now, and you think about it just from a brand perspective, number 1 restaurant, number 1 hotel, number 1 capital city for sport, only city in the top 50 in the world to visit. We're no longer arriving, we're now setting the pace, and the rest of Australia is trying to catch up. And you are in Brisbane, in a capital city that's actually over the next 20 years, where if you talk and listen to Shane Elliott from the ANZ, They're about to start bringing their C-suite executives over the next 5 years up into this space, because their estimations are that Brisbane, within 10 to 15 years, Brisbane, not Queensland, Brisbane alone will be accountable for 25% of Australia's GDP.
Wow. Yes, please. Our Lord Mayor has been on the same stage, but I tell you what, if he wasn't around, I know I'd want to be have as our Lord Mayor. Is that fair to say? I mean, the passion is phenomenal. Give him a round of applause for that. Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you.